My name is Grace Burton, and this is my presentation on Keystone species for BIOL 104 at Thomas Jefferson University, East Falls. According to Campbell's Biology, a keystone species is a species that is not usually abundant in a community, but exerts a strong control over the community's overall structure. A keystone species can also be described as a species that helps define an ecosystem. The importance of a keystone species is not necessarily based upon numerical presence in the community, but rather its ecological role in the community. Keystone species are often the main factor in an ecosystem, so it is important that there is a large enough population of the keystone species to keep a balance in the populations of the other species within the ecosystem. Featured to the right is an arch with a large trapezoid-shaped stone in the middle. This stone is called the keystone piece. This is because the surrounding pieces depend on the presence of the keystone piece to maintain the integrity and structure of the arch, much like a keystone species is needed to maintain the community structure of an ecosystem. A well-known example of a keystone species is gray wolves in Yellowstone National Park. Gray wolves were abundant when the national park was founded in 1872. However, they were perceived as a threat to humans and livestock, as well as hunted for their pelts, which caused a gradual decrease in their population until they were completely eliminated from Yellowstone in 1926. The elimination of this keystone species caused a cascade of changes in the ecosystem. Gray wolves preyed on elk, so the elimination of the gray wolf population caused a sharp increase in the elk population. The increase of elk caused overgrazing of shrubs and vegetation throughout the park. As a result of overgrazing on the ranch's shrubs and vegetation, the beavers were unable to obtain the necessary resources to build their dams, which prompted them to relocate their dams and cause a change in the waterways of the park. After considering these events, it is clear that the gray wolves are a keystone species in the Yellowstone National Park community. After almost 70 years of no gray wolves being present in Yellowstone, biologists decided to reintroduce 8 gray wolves back into the park in hopes that the ecosystem would be restored to its original quality. Even though there was a small amount of gray wolves, they triggered a trophic cascade within the ecosystem. The wolves preyed on the elk, which caused the elk population to decrease and become more evenly dispersed throughout the park. As a result of the population decrease and dispersion of elk, the shrubs and vegetation were not overgrazed, which promoted more vegetation growth throughout the ranch. The increase in shrubs and vegetation provided more resources for the beavers to build their dams in the same locations that they had before the elimination of the gray wolves in 1926. Because of the dam relocation, the waterways changed back to their original patterns and structures. The reintroduction of keystone species, the gray wolf, back into the ecosystem caused several positive ecological changes that helped restore the balance between the various species living in the habitats in Yellowstone National Park. Thank you for watching.